Hello friends, Klaige back once again, and we are going to move on to the next chapter of the comprehensive plus R Anji guide. Those of you who've stuck through the mundane and not as interesting stuff, learning about all of the tools in Anji's kit, his normals, his specials, his meter options. Those of you who've been waiting, you get the fun stuff today. I am going to teach you how to do combos with Anji Mito and how to best get the most out of his meter and the most out of his damage in extremely common situations. The important things to note with Anji when it comes to combos. His combos are, for the most part, quite universal for his basic B&Bs. He does have a lot of character-specific stuff, but it's stuff that applies to a notable amount of characters in each situation. This is not a character you're going to have to learn character-specific things for every single character in the game. A lot of stuff will apply fairly universally with Anji. So he is not super executionally demanding by plus R standards by any stretch of the imagination, but some of his higher-end combos will take you some practice, and he does have some weird quirks with his combos that are a little different than, you know, your average stuff. So I'm going to go through, show you how to do everything, show a couple beginner combos for just getting the feel, how to do stuff with him, and then show you the true advanced stuff that is his bread and butters, the stuff you're going to want to use regularly once you're comfortable with his combo structure and feel like you can hit them consistently. So first, let's talk about theory, like what you're trying to accomplish with Anji when you do a combo. You have two main goals with Anji when you do a combo. You are either looking to get a knockdown via comboing into Own so that you can set up Butterfly Oki, or comboing into Stand Heavy to ground plummet them and also set up Butterfly Oki. That is the most common thing you're going to be looking to do when you end a combo with Anji. You want to get that guaranteed knockdown with the kind of spacing that sets up really good Butterfly Oki, because that's how this character is built around winning in the vast majority of his matchups. He does big damage with some meter, gets a solid knockdown, and is able to start another mix-up via Butterfly, possibly open up again, get another knockdown, and at that point, if you haven't killed them, you're getting very close. In matchups, obviously, where Butterfly is not your best option, and there are a few notable ones, you probably will look to cash out maximum damage or adjust your Okazeme, but we'll get to that when we get to more specific stuff. In general, though, you are looking to end a combo with Own or with Stand Heavy, because both allow a knockdown, both allow you to do Butterfly with proper spacing and timing, and that is exactly what you want. Of note, when you're when you're canceling Stand Heavy after a knockdown into Butterfly, I don't remember if I talked about it or not, but Anji has a unique mechanic in plus R that is a universal mechanic in Strive, if you're coming from that. He has the ability to max delay all his things, just like you can in Strive. He can max delay all his normals, his Gatlings. He can max delay into specials. He's allowed to cancel on any of the last frames of his stuff. He basically gets to do that for free. And he's the only character that gets to do that. This was the first time that was ever introduced into Guilty Gear. So that universal mechanic that is in Strive was actually created in this version for Anji. So that is something only he is allowed to do. Everyone else has to cancel during your usual Gatling windows or your usual, special cancel buffer windows and all that good stuff. So that is a nice option that Anji has. It allows us to kind of decide when we want to cancel into Butterfly off of a Stand Heavy for a good knockdown. So let's go through, talk about how to do all this. There's going to be another type of knockdown I'll talk about when we get to it that's a little more situational, but in general, the first things you're going to want to learn is comboing into Own, comboing into Stand Heavy. So I showed early on, anytime you get a stomp anywhere, if you can do a quick micro dash into kick slash on a lot of characters, you'll be able to reach them. Some of them you will not, depending on their hitbox. Own is not super wide in terms of its grab, how high it'll grab, or how wide it'll grab the opponent when they're above you. In those situations, sometimes you just want to keep it really simple and just do something like Stand Punch into 5H. And that's important to note. Stand Punch will combo into Stand Heavy on a juggle as long as you are not super, super late in a combo. Guilty Gear has hit stun deterioration, so the longer a combo goes, the less hit stun moves have. So eventually, this no longer becomes an option. The nice thing is that almost always, if you can get to them and do stand S, you should be able to combo into stand heavy as long as, you know, there's no weird hitbox interactions where it takes stand heavy longer than it should to reach them, even super deep in a combo. So if you're at a range to do this, perfectly fine. If you can get this, it's a little bit more damage, but you might not get the exact knockdown you want because naturally you have to be a bit closer. So just something to keep in mind there. But so let's talk about the bread and butter for Anji and what you are looking to do, what you're trying to accomplish when you do damage with this character. Anji is blessed with some of the best corner carry in the game and some of the most consistent corner carry in the game for minimal investment. Most of his B&Bs revolve around a very simple thing, and that is comboing into hard slash Fuujin, using force break green for 25%, and then finishing a combo with a knockdown. Your goal when you're learning this character's combos and getting his B&Bs down is to never use more than 25% in a combo. The only time you should be spending extra meter is for specific, like, Roman cancel confirms, spending meter on overdrive for executes if your opponent is near death, stuff like that. If you're just doing a combo and you know it's not going to kill and you know the match is going to continue, your goal is to consistently not spend more than 25% meter. It's a very common pitfall for people to do stuff like this early on and go, Fuujin force break green, Fuujin force break green, over and over again. Don't do that. You rarely ever want to use 2 force break greens in a combo for a couple of reasons. One, it's not amazing scaling, so you're not getting that much more damage. 2, 25% meter is precious for this character. Like, force break green is the best move this character has in a lot of situations, and it is his single most important combo tool. So you want to be able to have meter as consistently as humanly possible so you can always get your good combos and your good knockdowns. But let's get into the plus R Anji B&B, and it starts a lot like this. So your basic goal is going to be any way you can combo into stand heavy to force crouching, because if you hit stand heavy, you can always go into hard slash Fuujin. If stand heavy forces the crouch, you get to go into hard slash Fuujin, and that sends them to the wall and allows you to do combos. So the general thing to start with when you're just starting out learning Anji, you're going to want to do kick slash heavy, super basic Gatling. You have forever to buffer this. It's really easy. And then you go into hard slash Fuujin, and let's show you what that looks like. So blah 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 blah, hard slash Fuujin. Now from here, let me show you a meterless version in case you don't have any meter to work with. If you're lacking meter and can't do force break ring, you can do something like this. On Soul, this is really annoying because Soul's got a janky hitbox in the air, but you'll be able to knock down the vast majority of the cast just by doing this. If you're fast with your dash, you can even run up and get like a stand S there. But this is the general structure you're looking for, is to always go into hard slash Fuujin, get the wall bounce, and that enacts a lot of your combo routes. Now, the true B&B, the first thing you're going to really start with is after hard slash Fuujin, you're going to delay slightly in most situations. Sometimes you're going to want to go to force break green immediately, but that's pretty rare. You're going to delay slightly, let them bounce off the wall, and do force break green. So, just like that. If you don't do anything else, force break green is a hard knockdown. You have to be absurdly deep in a combo for force break green to not knock down. It has a ton of an untech ability on it. So that right there is that's your first stepping off point. You are looking to, after hard slash Fuujin, delay slightly, force break green, get your ground bounce. So if you want to learn a nice, basic, easy follow-up that's a knockdown, especially in the corner, because if you're anywhere ground start relative to the corner away from you, this is going to the corner. So we can do something like this. And then we can just do dash up, stand heavy, butterfly. Super easy thing to learn out the gate. 161 damage, not bad at all for a stand kick confirm. 25% meter, you get a knockdown, you get to put butterfly on them. Not terrible. It's not ideal butterfly spacing, but that is a super easy basic B&B you can learn right out the gate without getting too fancy. Once you're more comfortable with the whole structure of doing force break green and following up, what you want to learn to do is after force break green, you want to do hard slash Fuujin again, And this is going to open up some really nice opportunities because it's going to let us combo into own, and it's going to let us combo into own back into the corner. So this next combo, what I'm about to show you, this is the Anji B&B. This works on the vast majority of the cast. This is very important to learn because this is how you consistently cash out your damage into a good knockdown into butterfly. So it looks a little something like this. There you go. So what that is the first part I showed you. So kick slash heavy, Fuujin, force break green. Then what we're going to do is go into hard slash Fuujin again, wait, not do any follow-ups, and off the juggle because they're going to be higher, you get to do kick slash on. Now, I purposefully did Reen early there to highlight that I pulled Soul out of the corner, right? So why you don't want to do force break green early. It'll still work. You'll still get that combo. But watch what happens when I delay force break green and then follow up with the next hard slash Fuujin. Oh, hey. Look where they're going. Right back in the corner. And we're at solid spacing for a butterfly option. Not perfect, but solid. And a lot of times after on, you even have time to back up a step and then do butterfly, make your Oki even better. We'll get to that in the Oki video. That combo right there that you just saw me do, that is Anji's bread and butter. That is the single most important combo you can learn with this character because that will work on a ton of characters in a ton of situations. This is almost universal. You might have to adjust timing on the force break green. You might have to adjust timing for how you juggle after you do the second hard slash Fuujin, but this is the combo to learn. So one more time. The hardest part of this combo is going to be learning how to do hard slash Fuujin and then waiting and going into stand kick, because if you input too early, you're going to get hopped. And then obviously you don't get a combo because you're being pulled out of the corner. Nothing good happens there. That is by far the trickiest part of this combo, and it will take some time because it's just one of those things you're going to have to get a feel for. There's no real obvious animation for when you're allowed to go back into stand kick. You just have to know, okay, Fuujin recovery is over. I'm allowed to do stand kick and get the juggle. But that right there, that is the combo. That is the combo you want to learn because it's incredible damage, incredible corner carry, and a good knockdown for 25%. And you gain meter fairly quickly in plus R. If you are being judicious about your meter use and not overextending yourself in combos, you will consistently have the meter to do this combo. So just one more time. There you go. Practice that. Practice, 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 practice. If you can do that combo, you are ready to play this character in terms of cashing out your damage and opportunities. This will do very good for you. So, let's talk about some variations and other situations that come up. If you hit someone crouching, which is something you will often be able to do out of butterfly okizeme, say you hit them with down forward punch, the overhead, and then combo off the butterfly. If you are able to hit them crouching, when you hit someone crouching in Guilty Gear, they have more hit stun. You're allowed to do some different combos will actually work now. Different Gatlings and such will combo that wouldn't on a standing character. So if you hit someone crouching, you actually get to do, instead of your usual kick slash heavy, you get to do slash, heavy, forward punch, heavy, hard slash Fuujin. This tacks on a solid chunk of damage. So exact same combo is going to work, but now we get a way better starter. So a little too late on that one. 221. Learning that crouching starter, very good, very important. The only thing of note on this is that there are some characters that will actually push too far away and they have small crouching hitboxes that second forward heavy will not reach. When that happens, just go ahead and do the forward punch into hard slash Fuujin, because forward punch always combos into hard slash Fuujin, especially on a crouching character. But that's a good crouch confirm to learn. It's a nice chunk of extra damage. It's not hard to do, and you'll be able to recognize your crouch confirmed very easy in this game. That is not something that's too difficult to pick up, especially with this character. Because like I said, you're going to have a ton of situations where you do like butterfly. and go into this. You're going to be a lot closer with the momentum of the butterfly, but those kind of things work. So that crouch confirm, super worth learning. Definitely add that into your practice to work on. Another thing to note, let's say you've done a combo or something, or you don't have good meter for force break Reen, or don't have like the good spacing to juggle into own after force break Reen, or you don't want to use meter is the best example for this. Let's say you get it confirmed, but you don't have 25%, or you don't want to spend 25% because you got like a weak starter. Perfect example of this is when I do butterfly and I go up and do like a string that begins with like crouching punch because I want the butterfly string to be as close to airtight as possible. When you start with a weak starter like that, everything's going to scale really bad. So if that happens, a really easy way to get a knockdown without spinning the meter is to end your combo with Nagiha. So here's a good example of that. So let's just do that same starter. Let's just do this one. How do I want to do this? We got to be somewhat close to the corner. Yeah, this will work. Okay, so let's have you do this, blah, 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 go up. Nagiha. Something like that. There's a lot of situations where your combo will take you naturally to the corner. Point is, Nagiha has a lot of untechability in this game. So you have a long time to actually get a knockdown off this, even late in combos. Lighter characters that are floaty, this is a little bit more difficult to use. And characters that have wonky hitboxes can also make this a little more difficult. But this is a nice one to have in your back pocket when you get, like, you know, you get this same confirm, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, right there, I don't really, let's say I didn't have 25% meter. I can't go into force break Reen. I just want to hold the corner. Super easy way to do it. Just end it Nagiha. Delay a little bit, swap, good. This isn't ideal butterfly spacing, but it's still good enough that you can probably fit it in. So that's an important one to learn if you don't have the meter to do it. In general, you're going to want to do force break Reen combos. That is how you do things with this character. It's super important. So let's talk about a couple things. Let's say you're not close to the corner. Let's say you're coming from the other side of the map, right? So something important to note in Accent Core is wall bounces can be done mid-screen. And I know that sounds really stupid. But this is not like Strive where you only have wall bounces at the wall, quote-unquote, at the corner. In Plus R, if the opponent hits the edge of the screen and they've been hit by a move that causes wall bounce, they will wall bounce. So what this means is we can still do these kinds of combos when we're not near the corner. We just have to really delay our force break Reen. And the reason for that is when we do force break Reen, we move the screen forward because we are naturally moving forward. So what you want to do is delay it as long as you can and cause a wall bounce mid-screen. So it's going to look a little something like this. See how Soul bounced off the wall, came back into force break Reen? Works really well. If you do it too fast, see, he just keeps going, never actually hits the wall. There are some characters with big hitboxes that you can get away with doing this immediately, but that's still not ideal because it makes your next combo harder. But there is a solution to this problem if you don't feel comfortable trying to do the delay force break Reen to create the wall bounce situation, and that is one of the more advanced techniques with Anji, but one of the most useful ones is learning how to do dash Fuujin. So Fuujin is quarter circle forward, you know, hard slash, right? In old Guilty Gear, in this especially, since we have Own, which is a Dragon Punch, we cannot do any kind of Dragon Punch motion and not get Own. Own will take priority over Fuujin. So what we want to do, if you want to get a little bit of extra range on hard slash Fuujin, what you can actually do is do quarter circle forward, tap forward again, then hit hard slash, and you will actually get dash motion. So if this is regular hard slash Fuujin, reaches from there, right? You know, just starts up and goes, right? If I do this, see how the little step dash happens there and how much more range you get? This is tricky. I still drop this in matches quite a bit. It's definitely something I need to work on, but it is very worth learning. Because that'll allow you to extend those kind of combos. So if we just do this, a little bit of extra step, got us there. Fuujin has a very generous hitbox. It's big in this game. So you will catch if you can do this dash Fuujin input. There you go. So that is a very nice little advanced technique to learn. This will allow you to extend combos that you have no business extending in this game. It'll help you out a lot. So that's one way to do it. The other way is to do the delay like I showed. And instead of after the Force Break Reen going into hard slash Fuujin and letting them wall bounce, you're probably not going to have enough room because they're going to be pretty far from the corner. You're going to be pretty far from the corner. So letting hard slash Fuujin end and then going into kick slash isn't really going to work very well. So what you can do instead is this. See right there. That's the tricky part of it. If you delay too long, they get the tag. But we need them to bounce off the wall for this to work. There we go. That is your next combo route to learn. If you're away from the corner and you know you're not going to be able to do hard slash Fuujin juggle by not doing a follow-up, your goal is to do hard slash Fuujin hop. And most of the time on most of the cache, you'll be able to do hard slash Fuujin hop, stand punch, on. Some characters you'll need to do a juggle with like kick slash on. Some characters you'll need to do like crouching punch, stand slash on. But that will reach pretty much every character in the game if you do the timing right. So one more time just to show. Again, this is a tricky timing that takes time. And you got to be quick with your hop into punch, but that will work. Those combos always work, and they're very worth learning. There are a lot of characters where you're going to be doing a lot of a single combo into Force Break Reen, and then all you're going to get is, you know, into the hop to combo afterwards. So that's super important to learn. That basically, for the most part, covers the really important stuff about how to do Anji's main B&B route. Remember, your goal is comboing into stand heavy and going into hard slash Fuujin. That is how all of this character's main combos work. So if you can do these consistently, if you can do that B&B consistently, you'll be in good shape. You've already learned some of the most difficult execution this character has. So, a couple other important things with this stuff. So let's go back to character select real quick. On lightweight characters, so characters like Milia is a perfect example here. If you do a combo early on that goes into Own, you can actually combo into hard slash Fuujin out of Own, and this allows you to really hammer lightweight characters who usually have much worse defense modifiers overall and usually don't have great guts. This is how you cash out big time damage against lightweight characters. And this is tricky to do, I'm not going to lie. The timing for comboing out of Own is not easy. And there you go, that kind of thing. That combo can even be extended further. You can go into the dashing Fuujin, hop, and get a full juggle. I'll try that a couple times just to show for prosperity's sake. These are definitely not easy combos, but against lightweights, these are invaluable to learn. You see there, I was just a little late on the hard slash Fuujin, so they dropped. So these are something, if you can't do this early on, don't worry about it. Right there, just missed the stand punch into Own. But you get the idea. These take a lot more timing. You're doing some specific delays and links and stuff that are not easy to do. But for lightweight characters, these are absolutely worth learning because it's not uncommon to have a situation where you combo into Own early off of something, and then this is how you really, really punish a lightweight opponent for that. So if you want something more advanced to practice, grab Milia, grab Mei, Baiken, Ino, even Chip in certain situations, and do an early combo into Own, and then do hard slash Fuujin. See how consistently you can do the combo into Force Break Reen. If you do this late, like if you try to do this after doing your bread and butter and go into Own, gravity is going to kick in way harder. This will not work. It has to be very early in the combo after Own for this to work. So just keep that in mind. But that is another super useful route to learn, especially for the lightweights, because you can absolutely destroy Milia, Chip, Mei, Dizzy's life bars with that kind of thing. Super important to learn. So next, what if we get in a situation where, say we're in the corner, but we get a launch that doesn't, doesn't really work well for going into hard slash Fuujin and stuff. These can happen a lot. The next really important type of combo to learn is going to be learning how to do knockdowns with Orb. So I talked about Orb in the special moves. If you do this move super low to the ground, it'll knock down because they're fine. But if you do a really high combo, let's see what'll work on testing here. There we go. Gets to tech because he's way up in the air. You want to try and be around here when you knock down someone with Orb after an air combo to get a knockdown. And that is something you can do. This route is also a little tricky, and this is pretty character specific. This only is going to work on characters with fat hitboxes in mid-air. But there are characters where this is really useful on. So this is going to work on your characters like Potemkin, Testament, Zappa, Soul, Johnny, a few others. You can get these kind of combos. So let's show you how this works. The idea is you get some kind of launch in the corner, maybe off Stomp, maybe off Kick Stomp, something like that. You do some Butterfly Oki and get one of these, right? What you're going to do is Anji has a basic Gatling where he can go Kick Slash Heavy Dust. This, right? Usually, in a lot of situations, what happens is that Jump Dust misses because you're too high up for it to hit. The hitbox on Jump Dust is tall. You kind of need to be fairly level with the character. You can create situations where that whole string will combo in the corner or near the corner by slightly delaying your Gatlings after the jump kick. So this is what it looks like. Hard knockdown. The only tricky part about this is learning what height to start the juggle at and go into the super jump cancel. But all you're doing is you're doing jump kick and you're putting a slight delay, not a heavy delay. You're not trying to do a link or anything, but just a slight gap between jump kick and jump slash. And then you do jump slash, jump heavy, jump dust as fast as possible. You Gatling those with the buffer just like normal. If you do that on these characters with these kind of hitboxes, you get to combo into Orb. This is super useful. You can get stray confirms out in the mid screen and stuff like this can happen. This is too far away, but it is not at all uncommon to kind of have, you know, something out here where you catch them and you don't really have a good confirm into hard slash Fuujin because they're bouncing. They're already launched. You can't force them crouching with stand heavy anymore. That kind of makes the hard slash Fuujin combos not very viable. But this is a really nice thing to learn to have in your back pocket when you get these kind of air confirms. Because you can go right into Butterfly if you want, and a lot of these characters who have these hitboxes this works on have really fat hitboxes on the ground as well, so Butterfly will still work. You also have the option to OTG and go into Butterfly and something like that. OTGing is still very viable in this game. Though do note that your opponent can tech in this if you OTG them. So if I do... and then do crouch kick, see how you can tech. They have to tech manually. That's not automatic. You have to tech manually in plus R. So that's a mind game you can play. You can do techs into things and try and make them fail to faultless defense, block, a ground normal, stuff like that. But super useful little corner combo route to use. It's something to learn because you will get those kind of launches near the corner where the hard slash Fuujin combos just aren't going to be it. Like, you're not going to have the right spacing. You're not going to have the right option going to force break green. Because a lot of times, if you do something like, you know, let's just say you try to do something like this. See how Testament already techs because of how slow hard slash Fuujin is? Even if you do like this one, you know, it's just not ideal. And a lot of times, even if you make those work, if you do hard slash Fuujin this close to the corner, this is what tends to happen if you combo into Force Break Green. You're going to bounce them out of the corner. On some characters, Force Break Green will just whiff entirely because they have wonky hitboxes. So when you're near the corner and you get an air launch like that, you're going to look to get a corner combo knockdown with that middle to low hitting orb after a jump dust. And like I said, this is only on specific characters, but play around with that string, see you can get to combo on it consistently, because those characters, it is very worth knowing how to do that, because that gives you an extra way to get an actual knockdown off launchers that you don't always get a great knockdown of. Because let's say you get this, right? I could just go up and do, kick slash own, but now I've pulled them out of the corner. In a lot of matchups, you don't want to do that. Butterfly is not as good in the corner as it is out in the open in this game, especially if you're looking for force break Butterfly. But a lot of characters, if you get them in the corner, you don't want them to leave. Testament, perfect example of a character you don't want to let out of the corner. Potemkin, you never let out of the corner for any reason whatsoever. Because if you keep him in the corner, you have full control of the match, and that's really important in that matchup. So this is an important combo to learn so that when you get those kind of confirms, you don't have to just cut your combo short and go into like stand punch, stand heavy to knock them down in the corner, or combo into own and pull them out of the corner. So that's why this super jump combo is worth learning. So those are your two main, very common routes. But it wouldn't be a combo lesson if we don't do some of the fun stuff, right? Like some of the swaggiest stuff. And so let's talk about the most stylish thing Anji has in the game. And that's his Fuujin Loops. These are very, very character specific. There are very few characters that you can reliably do Fuujin Loops on because of the way they work. But the characters they work on, it often is your highest source of damage, especially if you have someone with a cranked wrist gauge. So the idea behind Fuujin Loops is that hard slash Fuujin gives the wall bounce. That's kind of its unique mechanic, right? Well, when you combo into slash Fuujin off of an opponent who isn't grounded, if you do it on the ground, they just stay there. They don't move at all, right? If you do it when they're in the air, they get the slide motion. Let me do it out in the open so you can see it. They get that slide motion and then they get up. It's one of the few things that causes a quote-unquote soft knockdown. If you don't follow up that with some sort of combo, they get up. But this is really useful because this allows us to actually loop slash Fuujin into some pretty big damage. This is really, really only useful on... There's 4 main characters you're going to want to learn this on. Absolutely Testament and Potemkin. Fuujin Loops on these 2 characters are really important. They're big damage. Testament especially, it's a huge boon to be able to Fuujin Loop this character. One of the reasons Anji actually fights Testament well in this game is because he gets his best combos on Testament. So when he hits him, it hurts. Even without meter. That's the other bonus, is that Fuujin Loops don't always have to be a metered starter. But how you do Fuujin Loops is the idea is you want to get them to a height where you can do either stand slash or stand punch into slash Fuujin. And yes, I said stand punch. You can combo stand punch in the air to slash Fuujin. This is really important for some weird stuff you can set up on force break green combos from mid-screen. Like Testament, you could actually go into a small Fuujin loop after doing a bread and butter combo. So you could do like kick slash heavy, hard slash Fuujin, force break green, and then run up and do like stand punch or stand slash into slash Fuujin and get the loop. You won't be able to get as many reps, but it's there. So this is how Fuujin loops work. You're gonna go into Fuujin. You can get a maximum of 3 reps of this. If you do a 3rd rep, and this only applies to Potemkin and Testament, this will not work on Kai or Robo-Kai. If you do a 3rd loop, you have to end in on. You will not be able to end in stand heavy. So a lot of times you're only going to do 2 reps of this because you're going to want to combo into stand heavy and force them to stay in the corner. So that looks a little something like this. Butterfly. And the nice thing is this causes so much pushback that you get pretty good return on the investment, right? So that's a basic one off of Punch Stomp. There are some way better starters. A really good one that works on Testament is you can actually do TK Orb, Roman Cancel It, and you can start the juggle with crouching heavy. And this will do way more damage. So if we do this, you got to be quick after the hop. You saw right there, see how I didn't get my stand kick out in time? I tried to hit it too early. If you don't immediately start juggling after you recover from the hop, they will often get to tech. So these are tricky. If you're going to practice them on Testament and Potemkin. By far the easiest characters to learn Fuujin Loops on. But yeah, one more time. So there we go. Extra damage. Not bad at all. Like I said, if you want to do 3 reps of this, this will work on both Testament and Potemkin. You can actually do a 3rd rep, and you can get some pretty stupid damage. There you go. The only time you're really going to want to do that 3rd rep and pull them out of the corner is if you intend to set up Force Break Butterfly afterwards. which is very strong against both these characters. Against Test and Potemkin, that is a super viable option because they are not good at getting out of Force Break Butterfly. They usually have to spin meter or take some kind of huge reversal risk, and most of the time they don't have that option. Testament absolutely doesn't really have the option. So this is the kind of sequence you could potentially hit Testament with and basically just ruin a Testament's day. So that's the other thing. If they're too high for stand slash, they'll just whiff. That's something you have to be noted on. If you juggle them too high with stand slash, Slash Fuujin has a much lower hitbox than hard Slash Fuujin. Like, Anji's just kind of there. It doesn't have near as generous of hitbox. So, one more time. If I can do TKs today. It's too high. And then we Force Break Butterfly. Pretty good sequence, right? Not bad at all. So yeah, if you have the meter, you get to set up that kind of stuff. Not bad. You can do some pretty serious damage to someone. So the Fuujin Loops are not going to work on most characters. Most characters, what will happen is you'll either juggle them too high with the kick slash, and the slash Fuujin will whiff. Their hitboxes don't allow them to be picked up properly. They're too heavy or have a weird kind of jank hitbox to it. This is something that you just kind of have to get used to with old Guilty Gear. Is character hitboxes vary widely in this game, so some combos just don't work. But Fuujin Loops on Testament and Potemkin especially, absolutely worth your time to work. These are very, very powerful. You get to cash out damage, and they work from almost anything. Like I said, you can get something like this. A little early there, but just to show you the kind of options you have. You know, that's another ender you can do now without having to do the hard slash Fuujin juggle. It's not necessarily any better, quote unquote, but it is another option you have available against these kind of characters. So absolutely worth learning. So last thing I'm going to show you, besides one other character specific thing just for fun. So these last two things are kind of fun little extra stuff that you can do. These are not what you need to be practicing. This is just when you get really good with this character and you feel like really trying to bust out the swag, here is the really fun stuff. So I talked about how the unique properties of this move, down forward S, right? 3S. This move can be canceled out of. You have basically the ability to cancel stand slash and stand heavy back into another slash button, or any button for that matter, by canceling out of down forward slash. So I showed before you could do like this and go into stand slash again out of crouching slash, which is not a normal Gatling. If I just hit the button, nothing. You don't get to Gatling out of that. Well, an important note for this is that in Fuujin Loops, you can actually pick up with just stand slash. This has a good enough hitbox to do that. And stand slash 3S canceled combos into itself. It's not easy, but if I can do it today. I was doing it fine when I practiced for the video. There we go. You're not seeing it. So what does this mean? Well, this means the absolute most ridiculous combo you can do on Testament is to do a Fuujin Loop and only use stand slash for all of your juggles. So we'll see if I can do this or not. This is a lot harder to do when the pressure's actually on. I practiced this for like 20 minutes before I started this in hopes of being able to show it. I should have just recorded it. But these are hard. Like, this is not something you're going to want to do regularly, but it does work. Almost got the rhythm here. We're good. A little bit faster. Almost. Then you do kick slash on and get the full thing. Of course, the dizzy. you get the idea. I don't want to waste like 20 minutes here trying to show you one combo. But this does work. You can do a full combo off this and only use stand slash to juggle. This gets really hard. You are doing some very, very, very tight links to make this work, especially as the combo deteriorates. But it is a swaggy thing you can do if you want to practice the hardest combos Anji has. That's it. You know, doing Fuujin Loops with just stand S over and over again using the 3 S cancel is about as good as it gets. But I did it once off screen. I'm like, cool, I'm going to be able to show this on the combo video. Of course, start the recording and fail miserably because what else is new? So yeah, one last thing. One very last character-specific thing. This applies to Johnny and Jam. There's actually a unique juggle you get to do to these two in the corner. So if you do your standard conversion on these two, you actually get to do run up, stand slash, stand heavy, sweep, Fuujin. This works. You can even go into a second force break green and keep them in the corner off this if you're, you know, really wanting to spin meter. Harder to get a knockdown after that, and this is why I tell you to not do double force break green combos, but if you had someone guard gauge crank and we're trying to kill, that'd be a way to do it. But yeah, this extension works on Johnny and Jam in the corner. Very worth learning. This adds some pretty serious damage. The nice thing is you can also just knock down with Nagiha at the end of this really easily and set up a super easy butterfly. So Johnny and Jam, that's worth learning in addition to the other stuff I already showed you today. So that pretty much wraps up all the important combos you need to know for Anji. If you can consistently combo into stuff, you know, like own from stomps, if you can consistently do your B&B, you're going to be good to go. You're ready to rock. And what's nice is that once you start getting really good with this, what you're going to find out is that some characters, like Johnny, are really big, and doing mid-screen stuff gets really easy. Like, this stuff becomes super trivial to get consistent knockdowns into own with once you start getting the timing for all of this, because some characters are just really fat. Like, you will get stand punch into own there very consistently. I'm not doing it well today because I'm trying to do it under pressure while recording a video and talking and thinking about any points I might have missed in my notes. But when you're actually practicing focusing, the stuff becomes very second nature. So that covers all of Anji's main combos. There's obviously character-specific stuff. There's obviously specific confirms and other things that'll happen in certain situations that you can worry about later. If you can do these combos, you're ready to go. You're ready to play character, and you're ready to take advantage of your confirms and get big damage and get knockdowns out of them. And that's something you have to be able to do in Guilty Gear. You have to do your bread and butters. You have to get them consistently, and you need to take advantage of it. So practice these, especially practice the single force break rin, bread and butter. That's what will help you out. That's what will get you going with this character. Once you can do that standard wall bounce off the second one into the link, like, you're good. You're going to be set to go from there, and things are going to go really well for you. You'll learn over time which characters you can consistently combo into own, which characters you need to just do something like kick slash heavy to knock them down, but that's stuff that'll come in time as you learn more and more about the matchups. Just focus on getting these bread and butters down, and you will be set. Even if you don't want to worry about, like, the corner orb knockdown and stuff like that, the screen carry is what you want. This stuff is what you need to have down to play Anji, because this is how he wins games. Like, his ability to take you to the corner off anything is really important. So yeah, practice away, get in training mode, mess around, see how these feel. Like I said, the most tricky parts are going to be learning how to let the second heart slash Fuujin recover naturally and then go into a juggle. Once you get past that, you're pretty much over the hump. This will start flowing really, really well. But if you have any questions, you need any tips, any ideas, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to try and expound further on how to do these combos. And just let me know what you got questions on. You know, he's not super freeform just because, in general, he has very optimized combos. And you're going to want to consistently try to use only 25%. But it's still Guilty Gear. You can still roam and cancel things and make it up on the fly. So, you know, don't be afraid to experiment, obviously. Once you have the basic combo structure, you can kind of branch out and see what you can develop for your own personal combos. So always do that. Experimentation is never bad. But that's all I got for today. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble about Anji's combos for nearly 45 minutes. I knew this was going to be long because demonstrating live and not, fucking up over and over again. Not my strong suit, as you can tell. But hopefully this will still prove useful. Hopefully this will be an interesting part of the guide, and we'll start branching out into the more, advanced gameplay stuff. We'll start working on Okazeme, we'll start working on neutral, all that stuff that's really core to playing Anji well and being able to challenge people. So look forward to those guides as they come out. I'm going to get out of your hair. Thanks as always for watching. Be good to each other. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you for the next chapter of the Plus R guide. Later.